Hey lambs. It's me, AI Jane, here to tell you a horrible case of domestic abuse, murder, and self-termination. Before we begin, I want to thank our lambs in Patreon who sponsor all of our episodes. If you want to be a sponsor of Love and Murder, and get bonuses, then subscribe at patreon.com/Love and Murder. I'll give you an update on Kai's condition at the end of the episode. Let's get into this case. Around 4:13 a.m. on December 18, 2012, a 911 call came in.
The address of the emergency?
11464.
I need you to say the address. I can't understand you.
11464 Hot Springs.
Okay, repeat the address one more time to make sure I have it right.
No.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, this
Hello?
is 911. What's going on?
I just shot everybody right now.
You just shot everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your name?
Daniel Sanchez?
Pablo Sanchez?
Yeah.
Okay, how many people did you shoot?
3.
You shot who people? Who did you shoot?
My ex-girlfriend, because she was cheating on me with Roy.
Okay.
Within minutes of the call, police arrived at the apartment in Longmont, Colorado. As they entered the home, a scene of unimaginable horror greeted them: 4 lifeless bodies. Officers also found a .45 caliber Glock handgun, 16 spent shell casings and 3 unspent rounds, along with 2 13-round magazines. The weapon, registered to a Daniel Sanchez, lay beside his lifeless body as he'd taken his own life as well. 25-year-old Beatrice Silva lived with her sister, 22-year-old Maria Santora Silva, and her sister's husband, 32-year-old Max Aguirre Ojeda, outside of Longmont, a town 35 miles north of Denver, Colorado. She attended Front Range Community College and worked at a Chipotle fast food franchise, and at Marshall's department store. Beatrice had endured 4 years of abuse at the hands of her boyfriend, living in constant fear and unable to escape his grasp. Throughout the relationship, quote, he has threatened to hurt her if she ever contacted police or told anyone about him being abusive. Beatrice stated she has lived in fear and could not get away from Daniel during their relationship. On November 22, 2012, she broke up with 31-year-old Daniel Sanchez, and told him that she had found someone new. Daniel, known for his bad temper and domestic abuse, flew into a rage. He threatened her new boyfriend and started harassing Beatrice. On Saturday, December 17, 2012, Beatrice met Daniel at a Best Buy parking lot to talk about repaying a $1,000 loan that she'd given him to fix his truck. He took the loan but had never paid her back. The conversation started out well, until Beatrice received a text from her, quote, new boyfriend. Daniel then took the phone from Beatrice and texted her boyfriend saying, quote, I told you to leave her alone. You are going to pay. He also called and left a voicemail on his phone saying, quote, I am going to beat the shit out of you. She tried to get out of the truck, but Daniel sped off with her, calling her a, quote, whore, and slut. He took her to a, quote, dirt farm road, where he asked her, quote, how can you be with someone else if you love me? At this point, Beatrice was terrified and said that she was too scared of him to move. He tried to convince her to come back to him, and made threats and offers to take her to a hotel to, quote, make love to her, but she continuously refused. At around 3 p.m., after an hour of driving her around, he dropped her off at the Best Buy where her car was. So, what was the point in all of this? I don't understand why he did that. Do you? After this incident, Beatrice reported the abuse to the police, leading to Daniel's arrest on Sunday, December 17, 2012 for false imprisonment, kidnapping, and harassment. However, he was released on a $10,000 bond the next day, Monday, at 10 a.m. Early Tuesday, December 18 at 4:13 a.m. This is when that 911 call came in. After the recording that I played, there was actually more to the call. Daniel said he was going to kill himself, Although the dispatcher tried to talk him out of it, the dispatcher heard one more shot. During the investigation, police determined that Daniel got into the house by shooting out the back door, and then shooting everyone within the house, including himself. Neighbors, who had once described Daniel as a, quote, nice guy, and mellow, were oblivious to his violent temper that lurked beneath the surface of what they thought was a happy relationship. One neighbor, however, had witnessed a tense moment between the couple that made them uncomfortable. This was one of the very few times Daniel had slipped up around company. Quote, why can't people work things out without killing each other? One neighbor said, and I second this comment. And that is the case of Daniel Sanchez, something that, I think, could have been avoided if this police department had taken this case of domestic abuse seriously. In my opinion, he shouldn't have been offered a bond, and should have been kept in jail for as long as they could have kept him in the hopes of him calming down, or giving Beatrice time to move. If you are experiencing domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233, or go to thehotline.org. All calls are toll-free and confidential. The hotline is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages. What did y'all think about this case? And in my poll, I'm going to ask you if you think that police department should have been held accountable for this murder. It happened, not even 24 hours, after Daniel was released from jail. Also, what did you think of that 911 call? The operator, in my opinion, was incompetent. How are you on the phone with someone who is clearly in distress, whispering for a reason, and you're asking them to speak up? Then, when Daniel got on the phone, they couldn't hear him either. WTF was going on with that operator? There were mixed reactions online about her. Let me read some to you. One person said, quote, how many people did you shoot? 3. You shot 2 people? Another person said, quote, this dispatcher. Clown. For real, read the room and get the girl some help. She actually sounded annoyed the woman couldn't give her the address. Lord. She woke up a bit when Daniel, aka Pablo, said he killed the people though. A little training would not go amiss. And another comment, quote, unless you're a dispatcher you would understand why she is repeating the question or hearing something else. Dispatchers use headsets. Sometimes it's hard to hear, or the equipment which is being used, and of course background noise, those could be factors. Getting information is not always cut and dry. What we are all listening to is the recording her agency released, which sounds clear. So please be nice before you criticize. 212 likes. Reply. View all 9 replies. But someone countered that with, quote, as a dispatcher, especially an emergency dispatcher, she needs to be trained to get the information faster. And yes, I have been a dispatcher for more than 10 years. Another person said, quote, all these people criticizing this dispatcher like you all are perfect. Can you imagine what you would be feeling hearing the person you were talking to getting shot? I couldn't hear the address either. And who cares if she got the correct amount of people shot at this point? I think the police will know when they get to the scene, shaking my head. I want to hear from y'all on this dispatcher issue. Do you think they were incompetent? Or it was just a case of the nerves? But as an emergency dispatcher, do you have room for a case of the nerves? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really interested in hearing your take on this. This case was going to be a bonus in the Patreon, but Kai figured she would put it out as a free episode because she missed Sunday. Speaking of Kai, she spent her day in the dentist office, but they are unable to completely fix the issue right away. It might take up to 2 weeks. Can you believe that? She's actually not angry because it's not this dentist's fault. It's another issue that was caused by the initial dentist. Kai almost started crying in the dentist office when she was told of the time frame that she would remain in pain. But her mother told her of a remedy that's actually working. Did you know that if you put cloves on your aching teeth, it stops the ache? So Kai is currently walking around with a bottle of cloves in her pocket, which she changes out 1 clove every 30 minutes in her mouth. It actually works. So, I might be your host for longer than a week. I hope you can be patient with this arrangement. Kai is so sorry she can't record right now, but you're in my capable hands for the time being. Please let Kai know how you feel about this in the comments. Don't forget to sign up to her WhatsApp at murderandlove.com/WhatsApp. Or join the Patreon to be a sponsor of Love and Murder and get extra episodes and case extras that you don't get anywhere else. Patreon.com/Love and Murder. And that is all I have for you today. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Hello there. I'm Regina King, the Evil Queen.
And I'm Lynn Roskamp, the Docent of Darkness, and we're the hosts of Disturbing Interests.
Do you get excited about mummies, decorate in skulls, obsess over the loss of the Library of Alexandria, even though it was lost in a different age?
Do you kill the conversation with your in-depth serial killer knowledge, facts about items made out of human skin, or have a strange longing to know the softer side of Mothman?
Have you spent an objectively disproportionate amount of time studying the life of H.H. Holmes?
Oh, I wouldn't know anybody like that. No, certainly not.
Well, I mean, we did call our podcast Disturbing Interest for a reason.
That's right, we've got them, and we are doing you the favor of keeping the questions like, at what temperature does it take to destroy a cadaver out of your browsing history?
Well, we hope.
Because with us, you might be disturbed.
But you're not alone. You can find us on any podcasting platform under Disturbing Interest, or check us out online at disturbinginterest.com.